The southern coast of Sri Lanka is dotted with tropical gems, and Unawatuna is one of its brightest. A perfect blend of laid-back beach vibes, hidden jungle trails, Buddhist tranquility, and golden sands, this little town just south of Galle quickly became one of my favorite spots. I started my day by heading towards Jungle Beach, a secluded bay nestled in the Rumasala forest. The hike down was shaded by thick trees, their branches alive with mischievous monkeys and chirping birds. As the path opened up, the beach revealed itself, crystal clear waters, golden sand, and a sense of complete seclusion. The waves were calm, perfect for a refreshing morning swim. Just above the beach, perched on a hill, stood the Japanese Peace Pagoda, a dazzling white stupa built to promote harmony. The view from up there was breathtaking. The endless blue of the Indian Ocean stretched beyond the coastline, with Galle Fort visible in the distance. After a short hike, I found myself on Unawatuna Beach, the lively heart of the town. The beach was lined with colorful cafes, reggae bars, and sunbeds, each spot playing a different tune, from Bob Marley classics to local baila beats. The turquoise waters were warm, inviting, and full of swimmers, surfers, and snorkelers exploring the reef. I then made my way to Dalawela Beach, home to one of Sri Lanka's most iconic rope swings. Just offshore, a few empty stilts stood in the shallow water, silent reminders of the traditional stilt fishermen who once perched there at sunrise, patiently waiting for their catch. Further along, Miripena Beach was more natural, a place where turtles ruled the shoreline. I watched as a few green sea turtles lazily swam in the shallows, their smooth shells glistening under the sun. Frog Rock, a rock formation rising from the water, stood against the cloudy sky. In the afternoon, I took one final stop at Talpe Beach, known for its natural rock pools carved by the sea over time. Unlike the more touristy spots, this beach was filled with locals enjoying themselves, kids and friends splashing in the shallows. As my journey through Sri Lanka neared its end, I arrived at dawn in Galle, a city where history lingers in every street corner, where Dutch colonial buildings stand proudly against the salty winds, and where the past and present blend seamlessly within the walls of the iconic fort. I started my morning at Galle Lighthouse, the oldest in Sri Lanka, standing tall at the southeastern tip of the fort. The white tower gleamed under the sun, contrasting against the deep blues of the Indian Ocean. Below, the waves crashed against the massive fortifications built by the Portuguese and later expanded by the Dutch. I strolled along the thick stone walls of the fort, where cannons stood as silent sentinels overlooking the endless blue of the ocean. Locals jogged before the heat set in, children played cricket in the narrow streets below, and vendors pushed carts filled with fresh mango slices. The fort felt like an open-air museum, where history blended seamlessly with daily life. Inside, I passed the Dutch Reformed Church, its 18th century gravestones worn by time, and the elegant All Saints Church with its striking Gothic windows. The Maritime Museum, housed in a former warehouse, offered a glimpse into Sri Lanka's rich naval past. Nearby, the old Dutch hospital had been transformed into a lively dining and shopping precinct. As I wandered through the bastions, I imagined the soldiers who once stood guard here, watching over a fortification that still stood strong against time. Galle had a way of surprising me. Turning a corner, I found hidden courtyards filled with bougainvillea, loud peacocks, charming bookshops, and small cafes tucked inside historic buildings. It was a place where every doorway seemed to hold a story. Stepping outside the fort stone walls, I visited St. Mary's Catholic Church, a relic of the Portuguese era recently remodeled. Not far away, a beautifully adorned Hindu temple stood in vibrant contrast, its intricate carvings and colorful statues catching the afternoon light. Nearby, in a small local park, I found something unexpected. A family of purple-faced leaf monkeys swinging from the trees. These rare endemic primates moved gracefully through the branches, their curious eyes watching me as I watched them. With one last look at Galle's sun-drenched fortifications, I boarded a bus bound for Negombo, my final stop before leaving Sri Lanka. The first stop in Negombo was its bustling fish market, a lively display of the city's deep ties to its fishing heritage. Fishermen, their faces weathered by the sun and sea, gathered around stalls overflowing with freshly caught tuna, red snapper, prawns, and crabs still wriggling in baskets. The air was filled with the scent of salt, fresh fish, and spices, a sensory overload before my journey came to an end. Just as I was soaking in the market's vibrant energy, the Lilama festival kicked into full swing, bringing a whole new level of excitement to the city. Red, blue, and white lights adorned every corner, lighting up the streets with a festive glow. People gathered in Catholic churches, while others spilled into the streets, celebrating with music, laughter, and dancing. The city was alive with chaos and joy, a perfect reflection of Sri Lanka's raw energy and spirit. The next morning, as I stood at Negombo Beach waiting for my tuk-tuk ride to the airport, I realized how much Sri Lanka had given me. From ancient ruins to endless beaches, misty hills to colonial streets, bustling cities to quiet jungle paths. Every moment had been a story, and Negombo was the perfect final chapter.